Hello, my name is Aswad. So let's talk about the Qatar World Cup. Right, Qatar World Cup is happening right now, and the world is having a good time watching the soccer game, the football game, and also the world is finding out about Qatar, especially football fans who are there. Now they're learning about Qatar and by extension the Arab people, and it's a good thing. So a lot of negative kind of impression can be chased away, you know, when they got to go there and see. However, this video is about what Qatar and by extension the Arab world can learn from the World Cup in Qatar, because there's a lot of lesson to be learned. Lesson, for example, before the World Cup and even at the first week of World Cup, there were so many people who are anti-Qatar, anti-Arab. You see that in the many kind of propaganda in the West that shows that say, oh, human right abuses in Qatar, worker rights in Qatar is not respected, and treatment of, you know, workers from foreign countries are treated badly. These are the accusations. But a lot of people who have been there know it's not true, you know, because you've been there. But why does the misconception about Qatar remains? And what can Qatar do to help change this kind of negative kind of perspective? And there's a lot of lesson to be learned. You know, it's not just going to Twitter and saying, no, Qatar is not like this, like that. Even then, even about Twitter spreading it through social media, they did a very bad, I have to say, a very bad job about it. Because I think when the negative news started to come out about Qatar, you can see top officials from Qatar answering this question, deflecting this question in a very angry manner, very reactive manner. I mean, they have the right to be angry, they have the right to be reactive, but that's not how PR works. And I think that's when, as a person who, you know, got involved with PR when I entered Petronas, I was in the corporate affairs. You can see, you can learn how to do PR better. And how the Qatar did it wasn't that, I have to say, wasn't that well. When you put an angry official arguing with the TV host or TV interviewer in a very strict or stressful, you know, very, what do you call that, serious, and sometimes, you know, the very angry kind of reproach is not good. I think that's the lacking that Qatar can learn from, how to manage the situation. Okay, I'm gonna start with like the first one is that the first one, you need to have good PR representative to talk to the media. That's very important. I think that's the most key important, because the media, they have, it's not the reporter's fault or the journalist's fault. They have been given the question by their boss or the editorial, their bosses. So what kind of question you want to ask? So always they will ask the kind of question that can provoke anger. You know, that's their job, because they want to sell papers or sell media. They want to continue going down a very negative vibe, because negative things sells. Then how do you reply to that? How do you reply to the negative attacks? That's why PR works. And you should not get somebody who's angry replying to the media. It doesn't work. You can actually change that. You can change the situation. Okay, so you need to hire or build. I think Qatar and the Arab world should build a good PR. That's what they need to learn, how to build a good PR. And not just I know there is some kind, I'm thinking like, if they hired a good PR office, they have a good PR office, the answer will not be so combative. Combative is when people ask you question, very provocative question. You cannot answer in anger. You cannot answer in like you have like you have rightful anger, or being hate, that kind of vibe you cannot have in PR. So, and there should be like a test, when you as a PR officer, when people, you can role play that before an event, before a negative event. Role play that. What if people are screaming at you, calling you racist, calling you bigot, calling you all that? How do you answer that? You have to train that officer. So there was one guy I keep watching on TV, very strict guy, older guy, and from Qatar side, and he was replying in a very very strict and very anger manner, like a father talking down to a child. That's the vibe that I get. So that's how they should change the approach. Meaning you need to get a good PR team, or build a good PR team, soft-spoken girl, woman. If it's not even women, you can get a guy who can speak very softly, have a smile on their face, and explain it. So that's what I think that the Qatar side lacks. It's not they're wrong. It's not that the Qatar, the way they answer, is not wrong. It's not about facts. It's about how you present the facts. There's a lot of people who are guilty, who are good people, who cannot present the truth, and then they end up being called bad people. So I think the Qatar got that because the lack of PR skills. So that's unfortunate. The attack that they got was about LGBTQ. Very soft topic, very easy to counter, but they made it a big deal. The Qataris made it a big deal. How to counter LGBTQ attacks, which is Qatar is right. Qatar have the right to know if you're LGBTQ, you cannot come and practice LGBTQ in a country. They made it a big point about that. Okay, and another part is the workers' rights, and that is also I'm going to go to the second point. The LGBTQ we can discuss at the end, near the end. Okay, about the workers, plight of workers, foreign workers in Qatar. This is allegedly. This is not. I cannot define this. I have not seen the proof. This is the problem with the attacks, the Western attacks against Qatar. Keep saying that the workers are not treated well. So I will ask, is there any proof? I have not seen any proof that the Qatar workers are working in a bad condition. I have not heard about this. If I've seen if there's evidence, I want to look at it. So how can Qatar counter this? And the Arab world, if there is such a situation, how can they counter this? I would say before you have the World Cup, this is also a big problem, which I will touch on the third point. Qatar should have known the kind of attack they will get. That's why they didn't do a SWOT thing, SWOT. You have to think about, before you organize anything, you have to think about the criticism that can come your way. This is part of strategic planning. You have to think about the attacks that will come your way? What will people say about me? You know, macam if I go to the interview, any job interview, I have to do a SWOT analysis on myself before I go. What kind of criticism that I will get? What will they attack me? And how will I reply back? So it's the same thing for a bigger company. You can do the SWOT analysis thing. Is I think one of the best kind of tools that they should have used, and anybody should have used. Politicians should definitely use the SWOT analysis technique. So if Qatar did that, Qatar did the SWOT analysis and know that people will attack in terms of workers' rights and workers' condition in Qatar. If they have known that, they have not known, like they have analyzed that this kind of attack will come, prepare a counter answer, prepare a video, prepare interviews with workers working in the Qatar World Cup or working in Qatar. Get the foreign workers to answer. If people doesn't know, workers in Qatar live in a good place. I'm not joking with you. They live in a good place. It might be not in the middle of the city, outskirts, near their workplace, but they live in a good condition. How do I know this? Because I've seen TikTok video from foreigners going to stay in the workers' hostel during the FIFA World Cup. That's how I know. Why didn't the government, the Qatar government, do the video on their own? This is where our workers stay. This is how they work. Do this like 2 months or up to the point this game start. They should have done that. Interview with people, foreign workers. Interview, go to their sites, see where they live. That should have been done, because they know early on they're gonna go to do a World Cup, and they should know that this kind of attacks will come. So do that. Okay. That's second point about the workers. They complain about the criticism about the worker situation in Qatar, which is really not the truth. I mean, people die in the Mexico World Cup or the previously in South America building their stadium. Did that get any coverage? No, none of that. None of the criticism against South American workers' safety or whatever. The Olympic Stadium, the FIFA game before in South America, nobody criticized on their workers' right. You know, I don't know why, but when it happened to Qatar, they criticized Qatar on the workers' rights, which to me is a good thing, because now you know. Next time, prepare, take care of your workers. I have no proof that they are mistreated. I'm just saying that prepare a video, show to the world that Qatar takes care of workers. And I do know they do take care. But this is also the third point. But you cannot say, oh, they will know automatically, they will know on their own. No, you should be proactive and create this kind of answer. Find out the kind of criticism that you will get and provide the answer, provide the proof. You know, that's up to you. And like I said, the first one, good PR. You must get good PR. You cannot get angry officials talking and angrily and strictly and very seriously. It must be somebody who's smiling, who can take criticism. That number one. Two is you do the SWOT analysis and prepare the kind of answer to the critic that will get. You will know this kind of criticism is on YouTube. I have seen people attack Qatar on YouTube so many times, so many videos, but there's no proof. All of the videos that they shown, they have no proof. So how can you believe if there's no proof? So you must do that. You must do video, share with the world that you say this is the situation in Qatar. I've been to Qatar. Qatar is a beautiful place. Dubai is a great place. Modern Muslim country. This is why people attack it. you know, because it's such a, people always have the view of modern Qatar, modern Dubai, modern UAE, what, all of this, people want to attack. That's human nature. So they very easily attack on workers' rights. So that's I think the approach that Qatar can adapt. Not only Qatar, but all the Arab world can adapt. Okay, here's the third point about how to, on the position of the Qatar and the Arab world. The problem with the Qatar and especially Qatar, Arab world, especially I've seen this only happen in Qatar, and is the idea that we don't care what everybody thinks. My mentor is Arab. I have friends who are Arab. Arab have very high self-confidence, that to the extent that they are insensitive to other people's comment. Like people say you are lazy or whatnot, they don't care. They don't care. But that is a problem actually when you deal with the global audience, because the people in the Qatar or Arab world, they have very kind of protective wall, and they have very high confidence to the points of arrogance. Tau. I'm not saying they're arrogant. I'm saying that they don't care about other people thinking, and that is the problem. When you don't care about other people thinking, people can attack you, and you don't care. But when the spotlight is on the World Cup, for example, then the question comes out. You are shocked. You are shocked because you are not prepared. You never thought about. It's important to understand how the world thinks about you. I was looking at it like Arab have that kind of attitude. They don't care. I mean, they are like American in a way, like they don't care about what other people think. But you need to think about that. Then you can start kind of open up your mind, thinking, oh yeah, we are not perfect actually. People are attacking us about this and that point. So what can we answer? You know, if there's no proof, say there is no proof. Like I said, sure, there's a lot they can do, you know, in PR. They can actually counter it. But the third attitude is to open up your mind and not think that you're higher than everybody else. When you think you are more confident than everybody else, you can do no wrong. That's why they didn't expect the kind of attacks that they will get. If you truthfully, I have Palestinian friends. They are like living. They know Malaysia is a Muslim country. They're happy here, but they are thinking their own bubble, you know. So when you do that, when you can have that kind of thinking, people can attack you and you are not prepared to answer. Okay, that's my third point. The fourth point, and I think the last point, is the LGBTQ issue, which is a very soft issue. It shouldn't have been an issue at all. You know, I think that's the problem with this World Cup, the Qatar World Cup. They were targeting the LGBTQ people. Okay, so as a result, it became a problem. People attack Qatar because of that. And as a Muslim, of course, you understand, as a Muslim religion, you know, it's not right in any religion, in haram, in Islam, for LGBTQ. But you don't have to tell that, you know. You don't have to tell that. It's a completely soft issue. If people ask, can LGBTQ come to Malaysia? Yeah, you can come. If they ask, is LGBTQ a crime in Malaysia? If you are caught, you know, and then move on. If they ask, I can answer for Qatar, you know, I can answer for Qatar. The main point is, it shouldn't be an issue when you organizing any big sport. Can LGBTQ come to Qatar? Come here, come. Can LGBTQ web bring flag? Come. Because it's a non-issue. People say, oh, no, I saw that you have to be... I'm talking about you organizing a world event. You do not want to have... You want to... It became to a point that even the BBC censored the opening of the World Cup. You know, I look at it because I practice taqiyya. As a Muslim, I practice taqiyya. Taqiyya means, you know, you're a Muslim. Yes, I'm a Muslim. But you keep it inside. It's a public, it's a very private religion to me, private faith. And when people ask, can a gay person come to your house as what? Come. Can we have sex in your house? LGBTQs? No, you cannot. But you can come. It's not a big issue. But my house, you know, very simple. Yeah, it's my house. Can LGBTQ come to Malaysia? Come. There's a lot of LGBTQ people in Malaysia anyway. End of story. Is there LGBTQ people in Malaysia? Yes. Are they being haunted or whatnot? No. See, I just answered a big question for example, for Qatar to take note. Actually, it's not a big issue. You can actually downplay all of this. It's not important. What else the issue that they covered? The beer part. Now in Malaysia, I use Malaysia because I live in Malaysia. Is beer haram in Malaysia? No. Are you allowed to drink beer in Malaysia as what? No. Are you haram? Yes, I'm a Muslim. But is there beer in Malaysia? There's beer in Malaysia, but it's not allowed for Muslim. Done. Can I ask? Okay, this is the question about the World Cup. Do you honestly think there are no alcohol in Dubai? Do you honestly think? They are, right? Okay. Nobody make a big issue, isn't it? Nobody make a big issue because it's not an issue. You know, it's your own business. Like, you don't make a big issue like, oh, you cannot drink beer. It's not a big issue. In Dubai, there is alcohol. You go to a big hotel, there is alcohol. There is a lot of things. But it's not a big issue, so don't make it an issue. You know? But I don't know why you want to make it an issue. Maybe that's right. There is their right to do that. But like anybody else, it's more like a personal thing to me. So it's not a big issue. In Malaysia, I'm a practicing Muslim. There's a Muslim country, but people want to drink. Is there alcohol in 7-Eleven? Go. Not in my house. I don't have any alcohol in my house lah. You know, but it's not big. It's not a big issue. Don't make it an issue. So alcohol, that's the issue that come out in Qatar. LGBTQ, women's right is not so much. It didn't come out women's right and the workers' right. So you can do the analysis that this kind of attack will come your way. Counter it. Right? Counter it. It's a very simple issue. But yeah lah, the good thing about the whole criticism is the Arab world now can open their mind about the world. Because I say it's not such a big deal. Because if you go to Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, they are like Malaysia in a way that, you know, there's alcohol there because there's a lot of Christian there also. No, it's not a big issue. That's why I wonder why in Qatar they made it a big issue. And I could be wrong. I mean, I'm just sharing how Qatar and the Arab world can learn from the FIFA World Cup organized in that country. Everything else fantastic. Qatar is fantastic. Dubai is fantastic. You know, now people are going there. They are learning from themselves. They are seeing for themselves that it's actually a great country. You know, it's a great place to stay and work. This, I don't know why it's such a simple kind of PR to make a PR statement or make a PR answer to all the criticism, and they didn't do that, unfortunately. But it's quite good that this thing happened. I know FIFA World Cup will be praised, it's a great soccer tournament in Iraq, in the Middle East. It can change people's perception of the Arab world. That's why I think it's a good FIFA tournament. I'm merely giving suggestion on how they can do it better in terms of PR and talking to the media and the press, because Western media is their job. They want to attack, so we must know how to reply in a very well-mannered, good-mannered way, because all of these issues that they brought up, very small issues. To all the fans who are watching the soccer right now, all the best to your team. Enjoy the game, and honestly, come to Dubai. Go to Dubai, go to Qatar, go to UAE. Enjoy whatever you find in the Arab world is fantastic. That's my message here. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.